board game in, according to Board Game Geek and our completely unbiased debate whatsoever. No, actually, this has been very civil for once. This we have seen eye to eye on most of these. The finale is our number one seed versus our number two seed, Clank versus Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Instead of choosing sides like we do for the rest of the thing, the way we do the finals was we go straight into the
Yes.
5 categories that we have, plus tiebreaker, which I'm going to go ahead and write that in.
Plus tiebreaker. Okay, so write down the results just in case. All right, so is there any of these that immediately seem obvious? And I feel the tension, I feel, does go to Clank.
I'll give you that, yeah. I feel the tension does go to Clank more, just because you have to pay attention to what other people are doing. And just the aspect of what Clank is going on. You're playing against another player. Yeah, you're doing it in Quacks, but you're playing on your own board.
Sure. Yep. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. All right. Cool. Which one do we want to start on?
Let's go ahead and go with Mechanism. Well, actually, before we go anywhere, Mechanism, Push Your Luck is Quacks and Quedlinburg.
Yeah. I mean, just because it's...
Because that's strictly what Quacks and Quedlinburg is Push Your Luck. Whereas Clank, there's deck building.
They're both pool building, right?
Yeah.
They're both Push Your Luck. But really, in Quacks, it is just absolutely just a Push Your Luck game, technically with pool building added on to help you push your luck. Whereas the deck building is to help your character be better in whichever way that you end up getting points. So
the three we have left is Meaningful Choices, Art Production, and Ease of Play. Let's go ahead and start with one of the easier ones to discuss, and that's Arts and Production.
Yeah, I completely agree. So let's think about this. They both have boards. The bag, they do have a bag, I believe, in Clank. I forget why. For the Clank pieces. But those are just colored cubes, wooden cubes. The dragon piece is a wooden piece as well, so those are pretty good. But you also have wooden pieces in Quacks of Quedlinburg for the water tokens and your rat token. You do have plastic bits in both of them, I believe, specifically the plastic gems. You do have cards versus tokens. Now,
and the cards are going to win hands down when it comes to the production value, because the tokens are something that gets damaged quite frequently.
Right. Yeah.
My thing here is where we're going to go into the art. For me personally, where this is where it's going to defer. And as much as I like the art of Clank is a beautiful game in its own aspect. For me personally, I like, and again, personally, as I said here, the colorfulness of Quacks of Quedlinburg is going to draw me in more. Just because how colorful the game is. I'm colorblind. So if I could see the colors in the game and see it pop on the table, it's going to draw me in. That's why I have a lot of Stonemaier games. He's very good about color in his games, and that draws me to said games. And for me, the artwork in Quacks of Quedlinburg, and not only that, tiny artwork, because each one of those tokens has a screen print on there with the artwork on it. And it's beautiful. It pops on just the little cardboard pieces.
Yeah. But they're all kind of the same, though, too. I mean, it's just like a tiny little... It's more or less an icon, right? But where all the cards are fully illustrated cards. I'm actually going to disagree with you a little bit as far as art and production. I don't think Clank is that good looking of a game, personally. I think it's kind of ugly. And I know that's just my preference. I've never liked the way the board looks. I hate those giant discs on it.
My reason with Clank is it's dark. It's a real, and I understand you're delving into a cavern, so
it's supposed to be dark, right?
Yeah,
but it also has like a silly characteristic tone with the art on the cards. So it's like, wait, which one are you trying to be here? Like, but I like how the art and the production, or the art brings out the idea of like, oh, you're delving through a dungeon and you're making this loud clank sound because you're carrying this heavy armor, like that's super cool. But then like the bubbles on the tokens that are making like this bubbly potion that's gonna go all crazy.
So for me,
I would give it Quacks.
When it comes to, I'll give it to Quacks too. But for me, my issue with Clank is Clank Legacy. the artwork from the board that I've seen in Clank Legacy is so much better than the base game of Clank. It's like, why did you do that choice in the first place?
Right. Well, I mean, it's how
Because
it
the
worked,
board
you know?
matches the cutesy artsy stuff that they're gonna do anyways.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go into meaningful choices. Excuse me. Let's meaningful choices. I feel that Clank does have more meaningful choices because yes, in Quacks it's just push your luck. Do I push my luck? And all you have to bank on is knowing what's in your bag. That's it.
I'll
Whereas
give you that.
in
Hands down, I'll give you that one just
yep,
because there is more meaning. Your path, your cards that you're putting in your thing.
yeah, your
When you put a
strategy
Clank token, yeah,
when you
I'll
turn
give you that.
around. Yep, there you go. So now
Now,
ease of
ease of
play.
play.
They're
Okay,
both
so again,
fairly complex games in a way, in their own right. They are both hard to kind of get to the table. So let's. This is broken down right into why we
simplicity
clarified
and
this.
familiarity of the mechanism.
Familiarity.
On that part, I'm gonna have to give it to Clank in an aspect. Everybody knows deck building. If that's the core of it, everybody knows deck building.
Well, no, I say fewer people know deck building than they do blackjack, and that's the core of Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Okay.
So I would give that part of it, familiarity and simplicity of the mechanisms, to Quacks, because in as far as familiarity, sure, deck building is an easy thing to pick up, but you're also managing that on top of what your pieces are doing.
Okay, I'll give
How
you
they're
that.
delving. So, but initial likelihood of getting it to the table,
That's just know your audience, honestly,
yeah,
on that one.
yeah,
Because if someone likes dungeon crawls, this is a decent dungeon crawl for people because it's something they're familiar with. You're jumping into the dungeon to steal treasure from a dragon.
sure,
It's basically The Hobbit, just legally distinct from.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Versus Clank, where it's or versus Quacks, where it's like, oh, you're a mad scientist wizard making potions that might blow up.
But
Like that's a
the thing
silly,
is, there's
yeah.
an easy way to describe that. It's like, you like Harry Potter? Well, you're making potions in this one. You're a wizard. And you're afraid they're going to blow up. Just think you're in Hogwarts learning potions class.
There you go. You know what? You just ruined Quacks of Quedlinburg for me. I'm out. I'm out. But
But I'm saying, to this one with the initial getting to the table, know your audience, honestly.
yeah,
For me, not personally, but for me, I think Quacks would be the easy one to get to the table. It is, especially when it comes to like both games, just because the colorful nature of it and compared to
sure.
the darkness that is a Clank.
Yeah, they might think that that's like I have to fight monsters, I have to roll d20s. Yeah,
Yeah.
that initial impression. And change during gameplay or variability is actually more of a detriment to Clank because of how everything can be changed at the drop of a hat. Like, because you play two halves of a game. You have the half where you're building up, and you have the half where you're running.
You're trying to get out.
Yeah, and that's a big wrench in a lot of plans.
Especially when it comes down to when we're talking about the ease of play. Is
Yeah.
it going to be easier for, say, Joe Schmo to play this because it's two games really in one, two parts. So
Right.
You got this part, Act 1, and you got Act 2. Whereas Quacks of Quedlinburg, it's the same game throughout.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like you do this, you push your luck. If you make it, you can buy these tokens to add to your thing. And then
Yep.
with the most recent expansion, it just adds more stuff to the game. That's all it really does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is, yeah, I mean, that's a bode for ease of play. Which one's easier to play? That would go to Quacks. So
Yeah.
that's a 3-2, pretty clear. Attention and meaningful choices goes to Clank. Mechanisms, art and production, and ease of play go to Quacks. Quacks is our winner for the best push your luck game. And I think that was true in the people's votes, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. On the fan vote, between Quacks of Quedlinburg and Clank, those were the top two games. So, not surprising, between BGG and Facebook's Board Game Revolution, it was 15-9.
15-9, yeah. So, pretty clear. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that worked out pretty well. Yeah, I like Quacks better than I like Clank. I liked playing Clank, but I used to own it and I've sold it because I have a deck builder already. Why do I want to play that one? Because the push your luck wasn't enough for me there, and that's why Quacks, first time I played, I was like, wow, this is something. This is intense. And While I still stand by that it's not the most tense deck builder
Yeah.
by or tense push your luck by far. Like at least raw, grizzled, you know, to an extent, Mystic Veil I think is well, no, not really,
Eh,
not really. It's very similar if I compared it to Mystic Veil, but yeah, there's a lot of ones that beat it as far as tenseness. But hey, that's how it works out. It is a better game.
alrighty. Do you want to decide what we're gonna do for next week, or do you want to do that off video?
We'll do that off
Because
video, but let's give them a quick view on what we're going to be talking about next week. Monday,
all
we're going
right,
to be having our continuing series now called Board Game Breakdown, where we will be breaking down Prospero Hall games, talking about their background, what their idea is, some of the games that they've made, and what makes them interesting.
notable awards and stuff like that.
Notable awards, yep. And then Wednesday,
We are going to be once again bringing you chits and giggles. That part of the podcast there, and there we're going to be talking about as a sister to what we just talked about yesterday, where we talked about games that need to be video games that need to be made into board games. This one, speaking of Prospero Hall, movies that should be made into board games. And the big part of it is because Prospero Hall has done a lot of movies into board games.
Yep.
There's one right behind Daniel's head there.
there's more
The
than a
Shining.
few. We have The Shining.
Yeah, The Shining and Horrified on the same show.
Yep,
We got Thanos
Horrified.
Rising right there as well.
Yep, Thanos Rising, which is not Prospero Hall, but
Yeah, but it's another movie because that's based off Infinity War. So.
right. Oh,
So
and
that's
then
gonna be our topic.
movies, Labyrinth, right there. All right.
Oh yeah, and then I don't know. Yeah, you can see it like right there.
Yep.
There's my Thanos Rising. Right above it is Dark
Yep.
Side Rising.
Yep.
And then over on my shelf of shame, you got Star Wars Rebellion. So
Yep, that we do. So we'll be talking about video game or movies that need to be made into, made into
the
board
board
games.
games.
Yeah, and I have definitely some honorable mentions of. Yeah, I have some very strange honorable mentions.
I
So
have one honorable mention so far. I haven't got it broken down yet, but I have one honorable mention that's going to throw you for a little bit.
I think mine will as well. And you'll see exactly why.
Here's a little hint for people. It's a holiday movie.
I didn't know you liked Nightmare Before Christmas, the collectible card games that much. Anyway.
To me personally, one of the most overrated movies of all time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch it that much.
I've watched it twice in my life.
Yeah. that's enough, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Dun, dun,
So
dun, dun, dun.
that's it for us today. Thank you for joining us. You can contact us at everydayboardgames2020@gmail.com. You can see the uploaded videos of these at Everyday Board Games 2020 YouTube. And there is a Twitter started up, Everyday Board Games 2020 on Twitter if you want to contact us. Haven't really done a lot with it, but we're getting to work on that. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. If you want to check out Twitch, well, I film at least Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays starting at noon. We had some technical issues today, but we will try and fix those by next time. I'm sorry that that's been happening, but we'll have to just figure it out. We might also have a special guest for the Wednesday episode, but it's not a confirmed thing yet. We'll let you know if we do. So come tune in to the Twitch channel, and if you have any questions, you know how to reach us. Until then, I've been Danny.
And Daniel.
And thanks for joining.